wash away. So I'll run away. I'll run away from you. I'll run away. I keep running and running and running, and when I reach out to you, I always come back running. You change your mind so fast, you think I would have run. Somewhere inside you lives a girl I'd like to know. When I get next to you, you've got somewhere to go. So I run away. I run away from you. I run away. I keep running and running and running and
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, corn dog lovers of all ages, welcome to In the Box with your hosts, Matt and Adam.
And Gio.
Everybody get...
Hello, MASL family. Welcome back. MASL in the Box, In the Box Live, August 23rd, 2021. Welcome, our long lost brother. Found his way back. Found his way back to the internet. I don't know where Matt is, so we'll that for now. So Gio, how's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. I missed it, man. I missed it. I was busy doing fun / stressful things, but but that's the way it goes, right? No, it feels good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to have you back. So Gio is going to be back as often as possible. But we're still going to kind of stick to our what we're going to call this the off-season schedule, which means we're going to do a show kind of whenever we feel like it, whenever we're available, whenever we want to. I've admitted to spending a number of Monday nights fishing instead of wanting to talk about MASL. So, but the days are getting shorter, not as much to do. We certainly aren't going to have any 4-hour Monday night shows. maybe.
Don't. Those are difficult for me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we were chatting right before we went live. It was different a year ago because everyone was in lockdown. There was nothing to do, nothing going on Friday night, so we could just get online and talk. Sometimes we watched Matt literally go to sleep on the show, and we would stay on and talk, and we'd have guests, and it just moving it to Monday made sense when the season started because we didn't want to have a show the same time as games, and now that we're in the off season, it doesn't make sense to have a show as often. But since you're back, maybe we'll have to change that.
I mean, we could do like every other week.
Something
we don't have to go. We don't have to go every week. I mean, it's
Well, we're already not going to have one next week because of Labor Day, so.
Oh, there you go.
That'll be the end of that. I do not know where Matt is. If anyone knows where Matt is, tell him to log on to his meeting going online. Hey, Brad. Hey, Brian. How's it going?
Hey, guys. I will say, though, I was not here. I was here because I think I participated in almost every show you guys did.
I noticed that. It's like, well, if he's too busy for the show, why is he watching the show?
Because I was designing and doing marketing strategies and stuff like that while I was watching the show.
I see. As opposed to just having to pay attention the whole time.
Exactly.
Like we do. Yeah, we pay attention all the time. So, we at 9:00, so in about 23 minutes, we are going to have Emmanuel Viel, the founder and head coach and owner of the Omaha Kings, who just recently defeated the reigning Central Cup champion KC Comets in a pretty. Were you able to watch the game over the weekend?
I was able to. It was a good game.
It was a great game.
It was exciting.
It was exciting enough just to have a game back. It was more exciting to have Eric and Nick, or I should say Nick and Eric probably. Sorry, Eric. Sorry, Nick. Broadcast, the blue turf, the whole thing. You write something down here. We'll talk about this later.
Yes.
But, the same 15, not even 15, the same like 5 commercials back and forth, the Calafino tequila commercial. You miss that stuff. You get nostalgic on it. When it's
I almost forgot what the lyrics were.
Yeah, Scotty says the Taco Bell line must be long tonight for Matt.
Not in reference to the Calafino tequila,
Right.
That was just wrong timing.
That was not very good timing. Oh, you know what? Never loaded up my soundboard here. I can get that loaded up.
So, to recap news before we don't eat up Emmanuel's time.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of news. Start with the easy stuff. So St. Louis announced 4 signings, I think, since the last time we talked, or anybody talked, or we did something. Hang on, I see if this works. Did that come through okay?
Yeah, it did.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. First signing was Vadim Kochakov for 5 years pending a visa. Otto Yahik, 4-year extension. So last year he signed to a 3-year contract, which means he would have 2 years left. And now what they did is they just rolled that into a 4-year contract starting now. The same thing with Richard Schmerman, another 4-year contract, and then Christian Briggs signed a 4-year deal. So St. Louis is getting off to a running start. We know it has not been announced yet, but I suppose it's still a rumor then. There will be no Max Ferdinand. He had sent a number of St. Louis fans messages saying he wasn't going to play there next season. So we kind of know where he is, and we won't say it.
1 second. I'm still listening.
You're supposed to be front and center, paying attention.
I forgot this.
Oh, there you go. So we have big St. Louis news. I know they're doing dance team things. I know they did their open tryouts. I know they're doing a blood drive soon, so check that out. My first thought was, wow, these guys are signing, St. Louis is signing these players to really long-term contracts. But now that I think about it, I think that's what they need. Coaching change with Everton out. I think they need to have some stability and to show that, you know what, we're committed to this in the long haul. Get some players in here, get going, see what happens. And Eric says he heard that. I wasn't looking at the chat right away.
No, I think it's great that players are signing long-term contracts. It, like you said, it really allows the coach to really implement his playing style, and if not the first year, at least the second year, actually have a. I wouldn't be surprised if like a few of those guys become like the core of the team.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's good to see them sign multiple years.
And
personally,
for players who want to come in who say, "Well, you just lost your coach. What's going on?" They can say, well, we signed these 4 players to 4 and 5 year deals. We're committed the long run. And maybe they'll look at longer deals for players coming in, maybe free agents, maybe other players, things like that. So the big news, well, 2 pieces of big news. First one is Rochester Mesquite are out for this season. They cited business reasons. I think if anyone hasn't heard it, the MASL page posted Philly's interview with Keith Tozer. He talked a little bit about that, and that was Eric says St. Louis wants a Central Cup. They're gonna have to fight Omaha for it now. But there were business reasons, and I think the owners were not involved in that decision. It was the league office making the decision. I've kind of heard rumblings that some of the owners aren't happy with the league making decisions like that. I think that's kind of too bad. That's what the commissioner office needs to do. You can't have a rule by committee where the owners are trying to make up own rules for themselves. Otherwise, you have a situation like last year's Central Cup, which we won't get into.
I love the fact that the commissioner's office, or the Holy Trinity, as Philly calls them, actually have a spine to dictate. And it's a non-bipartisan party, not taking sides, doing what we asked of, not what we asked, but what the fans ask.
Well, and yeah, we talked about one of my first things I said was, in my what I would do as commissioner is what are we looking for as a commissioner is someone who can stand up to the owners and don't let the owners run this league.
Exactly. Because my respect to all the owners, I appreciate what you guys do. You make this game possible, but in reality, you guys should focus on the team and let the commissioner focus on the league. And you guys work together to make that environment grow. Yeah. So owners can't focus on the league, because then they're just going to want to get one up for their team.
Right. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with Mesquite, but as Dante, who is Soccer Sam's nephew, I believe I have that right, said that there's no arena to play at in Rochester. So without an arena to play at, that was the reason that they couldn't come back when they wanted to come back the first time. And I think they found a great home in the Rock Dome there. Is that called Rock Dome?
Yeah.
But without being able to play there, same reason Milwaukee couldn't play last year when the arena said no events. And the arena is owned by a university, so the university has different. When it's an arena owned by a company, they want to fill it with tenants because they want to make their money back and keep that. When it's owned by a university, there's so much money flowing through there that it's almost not non-issue if they shut down for a year.
Yeah.
So sorry to hear both of those teams are out, but it sounds like both are committed to return in a year, not like whenever. And the other big news, of course, is Turlock to M2.
Which we called.
Everyone called it. Everyone said Turlock needs to go to the MASL 2. I have mixed feelings on it because I'm a guilty. Turlock is my guilty pleasure team. I'm a guilty pleasure Turlock fan because there's just something special and kind of magical about their arena. Mario with his announcing style, which is, by all accounts, and Mario, if you ever hear this, it's not an insult to you. It's terrible, but it's perfect. And it's that niche kind of weird, quirky thing that this sport kind of needs. But if you want to make it a serious league, you can't have that in the league. So they can go. They can. And rumor had it 4 or 5 years ago they were supposed to. They were supposed to end up building an arena or moving into an arena or doing something, and that just kind of never happened. I think having a commissioner's office
Scotty Fellows just had a brain fart.
What?
I think Scotty Fellows just had a brain fart.
Flurry? Okay, thanks, Scotty. Yeah, that's a good point. It's owned by the Wisconsin Center, which is actually like a private company. UW is just the sponsor, so that's a different. That's a good point.
Well, isn't it a non-profit?
I don't know. Answer to that. Probably not.
But it's district center. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Never mind.
But anyway, so yeah, Turlock M2. Bunch of Turlock fans are kind of butthurt about it because they're like, "You put any team in our arena and we can beat them." Well, that's great, but still, I don't want. If we're going to make an image of the league, and we being the league and everyone, not us, obviously, if this league is going to make an image and they're going to have JP Della Camera running the league and running the league image, you just can't have that. That can't happen.
Yeah. I mean, in the interview with Philly, he said it. He said there's now professional standards, not minimum standards. So it's like, I mean, that says a lot. For me, my hat's off to the leadership, because we've been asking for that of the league for how long, that they need to have certain standards that the teams must follow. So, hey,
yeah,
I'm on board.
If you guys haven't seen the last show we had, which was on the 9th, August 9th with JP, go watch that show. He just has things. I don't want to say that he has everything we've been talking about covered, because it's so much more than that. But like all the things we've been talking about with the goofy camera angles and the guys who can't follow the ball, that isn't even a point of concern to him, because he says that's going to be not even a minimum. That's going to be how you have to run things. And if you don't run things like that, that's not acceptable. And then he went way over and above, talking about some things, maybe even hiring producers that know more about soccer, bringing in new people. They actually have money in the budget for new equipment, for new people, for things like that. I'm really excited about that. It's one of the things that I was hyped after the interview. I've been kind of bummed, especially Milwaukee fans, for obvious reasons that we don't need to explain on the air. Kind of been bummed about indoor soccer for going on 2 years now. More than 2 years now. And it's just like, what are we doing here? Just seems to be nothing happening, nothing going on. I know there's a lot of things in progress that they're having problems. They can't really announce anything until it's solidified. That'll come. But it was just kind of like this downward spiral and everything. And having that interview kind of really got my hopes up. Really be going to and watching games this coming season.
I hope so. Did we mention one signing, KC, or did you guys talk about that last game? I don't remember.
We did not talk about that. So who is it? Who's signing with KC?
Benji, my guy. Eduardo, that's my guy. I'm so excited for that. Benji Moriello.
So here's a question.
Sorry.
So Benji's on KC.
Mm-hmm.
John Sosa's on KC.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to punch one of your own teammates, can you get a red card for that?
Oh, that's a good question.
What do you guys think? Benji wants vengeance for the punch that was not a punch, and that was not a suspension in last year's Central Cup. He punches his own teammate. Do you think he'll get a red card for it? Do you think he'll get a suspension for it?
If Mr. Montiel can, get away with it. He might get a fine within the team. Who knows? Maybe not.
I don't think he will. I would think that's probably a bad way to come back, to join a team.
No, I'm pretty sure those bones have been buried, and
I'm sure
bridges have been crossed.
I'm sure. And John Sosa, if you ever want to come on the show, shoot me a message. No hard
Personally,
feelings.
I love what he does for KC. Personally,
so
even though sometimes he makes me frustrated, but overall, I'm really excited to see what he does for them.
Can't remember who was interviewed, if it was Ananovsky or if it was Kim Runfelt, who said the two players he couldn't have the team without, and one of them was John Sosa. Well, there were three really. It was Sosa, Vahid Asapur, and Stokic. Were the three that he said he wouldn't start a team without. Now, this is obviously a couple of years ago before he retired and Stokic went into coaching, but there's definitely a presence there. I think it was definitely not felt in the game against Omaha on Saturday night. I don't want to talk too much about that game without Emmanuel here. By the way, 9 minutes. Emmanuel, if you're out there watching, we'll send you a link in about 9 minutes. We'll take a quick break and get you all organized here, and then we'll come on. I don't know what's going on with Matt, if Matt's joining or if Matt's not joining. Matt Huber, calling Matt Huber. Send him a hot dog.
Did we talk about the two releases that kind of shocked me?
There was one. What was the other one?
Daniel Peruzzi.
I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah.
Well, who's the other one then?
Freddie.
Oh, so there's three. Okay. So I did not hear about Peruzzi. When did that happen?
They officially announced it today, but I kind of heard little rumors about it happening. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, he hasn't been able to, come back to full fitness since his injury and stuff like that. So, I mean, it makes sense, but it's been official. It's official now that he will not be returning for the coming season.
Okay. And then Freddie Mugin left Dallas. I messaged him and asked him if he's going anywhere, and he said he doesn't have anything yet, which probably means he has talks with multiple teams going on and just hasn't solidified.
Right. And then on top of that, I mean, he's super busy with what's going on in his academy in Canada. So I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't sign with anybody, which was kind of sad for me because I loved watching him with Dallas personally.
Yeah.
That's my guilty pleasure. That's my Central Cup team.
I didn't notice you liked Dallas.
No.
You didn't really mention it all last season.
No, not at all. We're gonna get that Central Cup.
We? So here is there going to be a Central Cup? I know Eric and Nick joke about it. We joke about it back and forth, but I don't know if it's been officially announced that there will be a Central Cup.
I don't think so. But we could still keep it going.
I mean, last year it was December 12th was the first weekend.
Yeah.
Because the leagues didn't start till January 1st. Well, now leagues are starting third or fourth week of November. They would have to have things figured out in the next 2 months. Pretty much done in the next 2 months.
It should be done now if they're going to have it. I don't think they're going to have it, which would suck, but because I think it was fun for the teams that participated.
How can they not have it?
I know.
And Sid makes a comment. The Central Cup was an MASL event. Any cards or suspension events should carry into the regular season. That was our beef with it because the league announced that there was an incident in the Central Cup and that it was a non-sanctioned non-MASL sanctioned event, and that there would be
They didn't carry their logo. It was non-sanctioned with affiliations to the league.
And all over the website and all over advertising, and the MASL advertised it and broadcast it and everything. So that was our thing, is that there was no suspension for it. There was no punishment other than a red card in a game.
Yep.
As far as Mugin goes, the other surprise one that is McGee from St. Louis. And I'm wondering there was a big talk when Everton came in that he was when he was recruiting Brazilian players. I'm wondering how many of those are going to be loyal to him versus loyal to St. Louis, if we may see more of that.
Well, I mean, I think at this point they have either bought into the system or are leaving.
I would think so.
Yeah. Can we just talk about how I think Dallas loves me? I think Dallas loves me because who was calling for their heads all last year?
Everybody?
Okay, but realistically, who was leading the charge for that? Hopefully it pays off for them.
I hope so too. I've heard some things. So the new Is he the owner now? Jesse Lamas has been banning fans from their page for saying negative things about Dallas.
I don't know. I don't know if he's the owner.
I think he's the president, but I don't know if that means he's the owner.
He's definitely the president. I think the owners are still Nelson and Hitchcock.
Oh. Well, I don't
think
know.
so.
Shows what I know.
So I think so. I think they're still the owners. And is it Jesse or is it their new social media person? Which I will not put their name, hers or her name out there.
I do not know. So it's a her? Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm just saying. I think what they're trying to do, and what I think a lot of teams need to do, is clean their image.
Yes.
But that's, I think, a conversation for another time.
Probably.
Because with 4 minutes left.
With 4 minutes left, yes. Yeah, that's true.
We won't get our points across. But aside from that, M2 fans, there's a lot of noise coming out of the M2. Did we ever congratulate Cleveland for winning?
No. Congratulations to the Cleveland Crunch for winning the MASL 2. We didn't really have a show in that whole time frame.
So
that's why.
Gio wouldn't make it in the CIA. Yes, I know, Eric. That's why I didn't apply.
And the what? What did you make?
I'm sorry, Brian. I'm sorry, not Eric. Brian. That I wouldn't make it in the CIA.
Oh.
But yeah, so congratulations to Eric and the guys and the girls for making it happen for Cleveland. I'm pretty sure they're excited.
That was cool. And I know they're going to be another year out to join M1, which it can only be good for them. I don't think that can be bad. I think they get another year to bring up the fan base and everything.
Right now, M2 has really healthy competition. I don't know if you've seen their lineup for the coming year. It's a pretty substantial lineup. I mean, you obviously know they're going to have the Savage second team. San Diego's bringing back their team. Fury's bringing their team. RGV's coming back. Wichita has always been good.
Yeah.
And then you have your usual suspects. And New Mexico City's coming back. Andres and them are coming back.
That's good. Those guys are fun to talk to.
It's exciting stuff all the way around, personally. M3, I haven't heard too much about, but besides that, M2 sounds like they're having a good time.
I think we'll get into the M3 stuff in a little bit with Emmanuel.
Well, yeah, that's true, with Emmanuel. I mean, I know they have the East Coast, but...
Yeah, but I mean, because they were planning on doing M3, and then the opportunity came to do M2, because M3 wasn't going to start until fall, winter, and then M2 had the summer season, and they kind of jumped over to that, and they fit in really well.
Well, I mean, they match the competition, so I mean, it was a no-brainer at that point.
All right,
I think so.
We're going to take a short break here, and we will be back with Emmanuel from Omaha Kings. See you in a couple minutes.
Time out.
Oh, we forgot to call it.
Damn it.
Wait, we forgot to do the actual signal. So, time out. Okay.
I did the signal.
I didn't. You did it after I already changed it.
Oh.
Okay, so I sent him the link. We'll have to get him in and get his... You know what? We're still live. Never mind. Let me transition this over. we
this
are
guy.
back. Welcome, the one and only owner, founder, coach, player.
Weren't you the leading goal scorer in the M3?
I don't even know. I was just more like the player coach, head coach, owner, trying to figure it all out. And here we are today, just retired officially, no longer playing and focusing on the club and giving my number 10 to somebody else, which, you know, as an Argentinian player, you're like, here you go, take it. So everything's going great so far. So thank you for having me, you guys. It's been a pleasure so far. So
Yeah, great to.
I like your jersey, by the way.
Hey, I love it. So I made it.
I'm not saying it to you right now because once you buy it, then we can talk. But
We had this conversation earlier.
I can always just move the corn dog.
And Matt, you too. I don't know what happened to your jersey, but you got to get it as well.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, I will say this. The best memory I have of you on the field was that bicycle kick. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, I think I actually ended up tearing my hamstring on that goal. I'm not going to lie to you. So that's kind of why it started my retirement process.
Oh, boy.
Well, I mean, you ended on a high. Let's leave it at that.
Right?
Oh, that's crazy. So yeah, I ordered both jerseys, the home and away, and there was some kind of snafu. You remember with the order?
Yeah.
And I totally forgot about it. And I'm like, hey, these ever ship? And so I asked you about it. So they came, and then I get them, and I look at the away jersey. I'm like, well, this doesn't look right. It was like a extra small, and the other one was a medium. I'm like, I must have like scrolled the mouse or whatever. So my 18-year-old daughter, I'm like, do you like this jersey? She's like, I love it. So it fits her perfectly. So she loves it. So my mistake worked out for the benefit of both of us. So we're happy.
No, that's awesome. I appreciate you for supporting our team. You know, we started from the bottom from, you know, almost 2 years. It's not even 2 years. And, you know, here we are today dreaming this unique experience for our players, for the owners. And I love it. I love every minute of it. It's not easy, but it's possible if you know how to think right and you know, do the things right for the community. So
yeah. So tell me, how'd the team come to be? How did you start the Kings? Start from the beginning here.
So I got to be part of the Vipers organization. I started to practice with the team and got to see a lot of how things went inside and outside, and got to experience the amazing part of arena soccer. Because I'm from Argentina, you know, we don't have arena soccer. We have a lot of futsal and outdoor. And once I got into it, it was a little bit confusing, right? Because you're going from outdoor to indoor. And then I loved it. I just fell in love with it, the passion, the event, and you know, things didn't go right with the Omaha Vipers. Unfortunately, things happened and they folded. And you know, I just had that feeling that it was meant to be in this community. And I got to be part of the Omaha City FC, which, you know, things didn't go right as well in those things. And I learn, you know, I listen, I learn, I watch, and I'm a player. So as a player, I need to find out, what do I want? What do I need? What does the city need? And at the end of the day, I used to run some soccer leagues, and my idea was to find the best players, local players, and start molding them mentally into, you know, this semi-pro or amateur team that I was dreaming of, right? And so my wife and I had the opportunity. We went both feet in. Came up with a name, came up with the colors. We came up with these beautiful colors, my wife and everything, the logo, due to like we're South Americans. So we wanted to have a little tropical flavor. And being in Nebraska, there's a lot of red and a lot of white colors and everything like that. I wanted to make a difference. And so that's why we started it. It started with this little dream of 100% invested in. And we started in the PASL a year ago in 2019, 2020. And a year later, we ended up PSL in 2021, and we ended up doing M3, M2, and now playing an M1 team, which is, it still hasn't settled in my head what just happened. And my players, I don't think they still don't realize. And I tell the guys, you guys just started from this semi-pro a year ago, players, into becoming this pros that people dream of, right? And wow, you saw it, you watched, hopefully you guys watched the game.
Oh, yeah.
What the guys put into work is a true arena an event, right? And so we want that for the community, we want that for the MASL, and then, you know, we want to grow. We want to make sure that arena soccer starts growing again. We love it. You know, I want to make sure that they understand that it's an event as well, and we're bringing in passion, culture, and all the different flavors all over the world here in Omaha, Nebraska. Believe it or not, I don't even know how to explain it, but slowly it's getting there. And my wife, and if I couldn't do this by myself, my wife is a lot of the reasons why I am where I'm at today. She kind of puts me into shape, right, when I'm a little crazy. So we have a good team. It's incredible. It's incredible.
It was cool to watch. The energy and the excitement for those guys was almost like I'm a father to two over 18 kids now, but like watching them on Christmas open things up in their eyes. And when who scored the last goal? Was that Jaffrey? Yeah,
Bobby Jaffrey.
When so watching his interview with Eric at halftime, he was he's talking about a terrible situation for his family, but he's upbeat about it and he's energetic and positive, and it just kind of struck home with me. And then watching him score the last goal, and that was a nasty goal.
I seriously, it's like it was meant to happen. I don't know how to describe. There's no other way to, and I get emotional, right? Because I've seen Bobby grow since he was 6 years old. So he's like my little brother. I consider him. They're all family to me, and so I was talking to him when his mom's situation was going on, you know, and a lot of things are mental issues going on with, you know, a lot of things are going on in the world right now. And so how do we figure it out? We're a family. We are one family, and I wanted to train these guys into having this family, right, where nothing gets in, and all the issues and everything that we do is a family, and we can talk and we can argue and we can let it all out inside this circle where nothing from the outside comes in or nothing goes out, and then we just keep it in our family. And at the end of the day, these guys have, man, I just can't even explain it to you how, as a normal owner, as a human being that invested everything, to see these guys give me everything they have and to enjoy it. You literally watch the game and you see who was actually enjoying the game.
Yep.
It was Kings. I'm not trying to be rude. I am so grateful for the opportunity for the comments, because this is what the guys play for, to have a chance to play in M1 team, right? To see if they have the quality or the passion to go to the next level. And every single time we were tested in M3 and M2 and M1, the guys picked up their heads and just went forward, and they listened and they worked. And I'm so proud, man. I just can't explain it. It's incredible what they're doing. It's incredible.
It was, yeah. And it was, I mean, I don't think there was anything that you could, we watched teams and certain teams over the years, and I'm not going to pick on Gio and Dallas, but there were certain teams over the years that we just watch and we know they're just not the same caliber. And we watch the first couple minutes. I'm like, all right, when's KC going to explode? Because, you know, it's going to happen. You know, they're all, and KC's playing a younger roster too. Like, okay, when's it going to happen? And you guys scored the first goal. I'm like, okay, it's on. And of course, KC scored within 10 seconds or whatever it was. And I'm like, okay, well, here we go. And then maybe they're going to make the run now. And then you guys scored the second goal. I'm like, okay. And then KC scored again in 30 seconds. And it's like, oh, we have a game here. It was one of the better games I've seen
in a while.
And granted, we haven't really seen too many.
Obviously, outside of what last year's playoffs was. This was one of the better games I've seen in a long time.
But you could have put this game in MASL season towards the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season as two teams competing for the playoffs. It would have been just as good to watch.
But I think you guys need to understand that these guys dream of doing that. You know what I mean? They are teams that are just okay and doing this and blah, blah, blah. We here in Omaha are, from the owners to the coaches to all the players to the practice players. They wait to go to practice. Like, I mean, it didn't start this way. I mean, don't get me wrong. What kind of owner would be like, oh, it was perfect? No, it was not perfect. You know, like, I mean, I had people turning backs on me, you know, from people that I knew that just turning backs on me and just walked away. And, you know, my wife and I were like, well, you realize who's there for you and who's not when you own a business and you start growing, right? And as you start growing, you start having people also, not appreciate you as much, and you start learning. You start learning as business, and it's been incredible. Like it's been.
I mean, honestly, the work that you, your wife, and all your staff have put in, it shows. I mean, look at the run you guys had at M2, right? It was an incredible run, and the title you guys captured against a certain team, and that game this past Saturday reminded me a lot of that Wichita game, right? Where you guys went down, you guys fought back up. You guys were in the lead. They put one away, and then you guys fought to the very end to win that game, right? So it's like it speaks volume to what the organization's values are, and just all the hard work from the second person off the bench to the front office staff, right? It just speaks a bunch of volumes for the whole organization.
Well, and I want to give a shout out as well to my father, Carlos Viel, and our also assistant coach who was also helping me out, Brian Lockie. They were a humongous part of everything. Doing everything is kind of close to impossible, and without having the help or guidance and listening to me, and sometimes not listening to me because it's that work, right? And it's we're all learning. That's the difference. Is we're willing to learn and move forward with it and see where we go. And it started from the 4th division. It started from the 3rd, and it started from the 2nd. And here we are today. We're here to give the arena name a good reputation, to make sure they know we're here to stay, and to believe that there's owners out there that are willing to do what it takes to make sure that they represent the community or the brand or the league the way they should. I might not be the most rich person in the world, but I figured it out during COVID for a whole year, playing M3, M2 in the middle of cross seasons, and to be able to take care of our players, and as well as playing an M1 team. We know what we're doing, and my wife and I are 100% invested in what we do in the league and our players, and they see it. And this is the reason why you see a difference of our club and a lot of different clubs is this kids came from local leagues into maybe kind of believing into now 100% believing it. And you see the difference from M3 to playing Kansas City's. They listened, and a lot of people are part of it, and a lot of people are not, and the people are part of it, you can tell. And that's just how it goes. And when I got thrown into this like arena stuff, it was like, I was talking to Gio, I was thrown into this humongous platform of people with power, with names, with branding, and here I am, like this little crazy Argentinian, like, hey, like trying to make it happen, and we're figuring it out. I listen to people. I listen, but I don't as well. I like to help others as well. Knowing my experiences, it hasn't been easy at all. It hasn't been easy. We didn't have the support. At first it wasn't like, oh, Omaha, here it is. No, we grinded. We worked. We were grassroots, and being bilingual helps a lot. Being bilingual helps a lot.
That's awesome.
So, I gotta ask this one. What were your thoughts on Messi going to PSG?
Ay, Dios mío.
Ay, ¿por qué? So what am I? First of all, I'm a huge fanatic of Messi. Obviously, I watched him grow. He's my age, and coming from Argentina, I watched him, and he was the reason why I was able to look forward to things. But Barcelona, I don't even watch him anymore. I actually, after they did the way, obviously, I don't know the whole full detail. We would never know. But after that happened, how they let him go, and he didn't get, essentially, he should have gotten, after he went, people should have said goodbye to Messi in a certain way instead of just, on Twitter or whatever it was. And I'm happy for him going to PSG. I think they're doing the right thing for him. They're getting him going again. I think emotionally he was hurt, due to all the things. And I think PSG is going to do great. Actually, all the players are. You got Sergio Ramos, you got Neymar, who's friends with him, and you got Mbappe, who are willing to listen to these guys. A lot of people are like, are the egos going to work? I believe that those egos are going to work. You have a lot of the veterans that are going to retire in a couple of years, and you have the younger generations that is probably willing to listen and they know that they're going to retire, right? Yeah. And so I think that could work. But Barcelona, to me right now, they're out.
Right.
I don't even know what to tell you. Gio, what is it, Gio? Tell me, what are you feeling right now? I see your face.
I'm not gonna say nothing, man. I've never been a Barcelona or Real Madrid fan, and PSG even worse. But hey, you know, to each their own, man. To each their own.
No, I think it's going to be just fine, and I think Argentina is looking good for the next World Cup as well. So we'll see how it happens.
I think so.
We'll see what happens in that.
We'll see if he gets if he can keep his legs, because they were chopping him down pretty good.
With who? With Argentina or what? Oh no, the games.
That one game where he in Copa America, second to last game, where his entire inside of his ankle was just a solid mound of blood.
Oh yeah,
and getting fouled. And there at one point there were 6 yellow cards, and they were all fouls against him.
The thing is, like, he grew up in that's South American soccer right there. It's a lot of dirty fouls, a lot of not. They don't give you any time, right? And so you're used to getting kicked on the ankle. So that's a lot of Central America soccer as well, and South America soccer. But that's why he does well in Europe. That's why, like, a lot of like Agüero did well in England, Tevez, and all the guys. They're used to the physical game. That's how we grew up playing. And so, yeah, Messi's just something else. I wish he played for the Kings. He didn't take my offer though, but I tried talking to him, but he didn't take it. So maybe next time in a couple of years he'll come to Arena Soccer.
There were some good social media posts all around all the leagues. You know, headshot, you know, photoshopping him into the rosters and the lineups and things like that. That was pretty cool.
I told my wife, I'm like, babe, this is the time. We got a bunch of Argentinians in Omaha. This is the time that we can make Messi happen. And she's like, whatever. And I'm like, just do it. So she started laughing. It was just, I don't, you know how it is, just for fun. So,
of course, yeah. No, but talking about the Omaha Kings, what can you see for you guys this coming season? Obviously, I'm sure you guys are going to be playing the M2, but what would your season look like, and what would you look forward towards the end of the season? A successful season, what does it look like?
So for me in M2 season, obviously, we're going to announce the arena. We got the arena closed in, got the turf and everything. My idea after this year M2 is to always to the top, right? Is to make sure we have a chance to win M2. First year was provisional year, again, idea. Second year is to make sure the team understands what the goal is now. It's serious. We're here to do the best we can. We're here to compete. I want to be the best, right? At the end of the day, we're not just investing just to do this, just to do it. We're doing it so the guys get to be the best. The guys get the chance to go somewhere else. And that's what we're doing. So my goal is for next year is to win M2. Now, obviously, that's a little harder said than done, but you have to have goals and ambitions, right? Obviously, we got to place half of the Kansas City Comets team, essentially. If you think about it, it's half or whatever they say it is. Mm-hmm. And they loved it. They love it, and they still don't stop talking about it. They're asking me if we're still going to have practice. It's unbelievable. I mean, some people don't want to do it somewhere else. Here, they are begging me to keep playing. So for me, M2, you know, I would love, you know, if the opportunity comes to play an M1 team again, or if they think that it was kind of like a one-off, you know, this guy's just got lucky. You know, we're wanting to play another team again, or just exhibition. This is what we do arena for, right? And you can tell that this exhibition game, it worked. It worked for people, for arena soccer, for football itself, and people in Argentina watched it. People in Brazil, like I got people. So obviously, is something right. So I mean, if Kansas City thinks that, you know, they were having a lot of their subs or something, and they could beat us with all their starters, then we'll play them again. We're missing 5-6 players too that were starters. So I mean, at the end of the day, soccer's an event. It's an exhibition, and you got to spice it up a little bit as well, right? And so. Maybe we did get lucky, maybe we didn't, but if they want to play again and have an exhibition, more than welcome to. We'll set it up. If any other M1 teams think, you know, we got to challenge the Kings, see if those guys are passionate or maybe good enough to be M1, we want to do that. That's what this arena soccer game is for. It's for the people. It's for an event. It's for passion. And at the end of the day, if you don't have an owner, I am the most fanatic person of the Omaha Kings, just so you guys know. So to have an owner like me, I would love to see these guys compete in a higher level. I mean, obviously, we dream always to go on M1. So let's just say for some odd reason, COVID happens to certain teams that have it, and M1 is like, hey, you want to do provisional year? And I'm like, you know what? We could try it. You know what I mean? Everything's possible in life. I mean, people don't think so, but it's possible.
Here's how I see the exhibition game, and this has come up in regular season games and things too, especially with the COVID year. of people saying, well, it wasn't really a win because we had 11 players out because of COVID. But you know what? You signed up for it. Your team is there. You're fielding a team. It's not Omaha's fault that you didn't have all your regular guys. Omaha came to play. You put up a team. You put up a roster. And I know Kansas City had a bunch of guys who were still coaching outdoor and doing things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But still, you agreed to play the game. You agreed to field a team, and you put on a show for your fans because that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Well, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, those results go on your club's history. So let's say if let's say you're a private, or sorry, if you have stocks in the world, right, and your team loses and your stocks go down, doesn't matter what team you fielded, the loss is the loss.
Yep.
Well, so, the way I look at it is, like I said, we're missing Elias Galvan, Renato, Rafa Nascimento. We're missing Hamza. We're missing 5-6 players, and the game of soccer is the game of soccer. It doesn't matter who you play. Your substitutes, your players that are now on the roster should be ready to step in at any moment, and that's not our fault. I'm sure I prepare my guys to be ready on and off the field, and so. You know, if someone starts or doesn't start and they go in 10 seconds, I make sure they're ready to go in for those 10 seconds. And we did our job. We studied it. We make sure.
There you go, Eric. Sorry.
we perfected it. We perfected it. I studied it. We studied it and we perfected it and we did it. And so it's not our fault. We're here growing and the guys have that feeling and they want to keep going, man. They want to keep going.
So yeah. I got to ask you a question, right, about ownership, right? So last season, I'm really into the football rápido in Mexico, and there wasn't a lot of talk of the MASL last season because there was no Mexican teams, right? And I heard you say a comment about how you're Argentinian owner. You had people watching it in Argentina. You had people watching it in Brazil, and now. I'm making the comment about how Mexico went kind of ghost because they didn't have a representative. But how important is it to the league to have diversify their ownership group? Because I'm hearing 3 markets right here.
I'm telling you right now, it's humongous. I don't know how to explain it to you. I have people right now in Argentina that want to start arena soccer, that want us to go down to Argentina to start arena soccer. Never been done before. So to tell you as an experienced owner, look at my team. You have people from Middle East. You have people from all over the world. And what does that open up for us? Branding everywhere, not just in the United States, in Mexico, and Brazil, and Argentina, and Uruguay, and Peru. You have in Africa. I mean, if you see our analytics, you have France, you have England, like Spain. Like, so for owners is to be kind of different cultures and different backgrounds. It's humongous for the arena game. It cannot just be one particular style. It has to be different styles because we're all different cultures and have unique style playing, right? Like Argentinians play a different way. Americans play a different way. People from Mexico play a different way. And so it's kind of cool to see the passions. You can tell the team and our passion is because we're built with a bunch of cultures and you got a crazy owner that's from Argentina that's more passionate than anybody else. And so they thrive on that emotion. We're an emotional team and the guys love it. They love it. I mean, they think I'm crazy, but in a good way, right? So they love it, man. So Gio, with your question is very important for analytics, for the branding, for TV deals, for sponsors, for everything.
So tagging onto that, how has the international players with visas and situations like that affected you? Have you run into any issues with that yet?
So I'm working with, right now I have one of my players, Sebastian, on number 10. And so I'm working with him and I haven't had any issues yet because our business is pretty straightforward. We have everything online and everything. And so if they ask things, we can submit it. Like I said, at the end of the day, we're here to do what's right for players. So if a player gives me 100%, I will give my 100% and do what it takes for that family or person to grow. I don't know how other owners are, how other businesses work, or how anything else, but that's how I do business here. Is if I tell you something, I will do it. And if it takes me to go beyond, I will do it. But it has to be both ways. I just can't be like, hey, come here. And you're like, yeah. And then you're halfway there. It doesn't work that way. And it's happened to me. And that's why I think right now it's I'm pretty straightforward with the guys. So if someone needs a visa and it's worth it, then maybe we can sit down and talk. But it's not everybody, right? It's not everybody, and so just certain people. Right now, I don't have any issues so far, but I don't know. You might run into some issues in the future. You never know. But we're prepared to do whatever it takes to help players and their families grow if they're doing the right thing.
I think one of the things that makes this sport so great is the international flair to it. So both, in Milwaukee here and in Baltimore with Gio with the Blast, there are a lot of international players on both teams, and we've kind of gotten hit, especially in COVID with travel bans and things. We've gotten hit with some visa issues. So I'm hoping it doesn't happen because you can definitely tell each player has its own flair with Contreras' crazy hair and Jaffrey's energy.
Real, man. Those guys. And Contreras never played in arena soccer before this. He played futsal in professional outdoor gaming, the Copa Libertadores. So he's like big time out, right? Nice. And so he bought in. When we sit down originally, we are straightforward, right? Some people are like, "Oh, he's this." No, I tell you what it is, and we're gonna sit down and figure it out. And we connected right away. At first, I think you kind of figured out what's the person kind of personality, what they like and don't like, right? And so we figured that out, and this guy has bought in since day one, and all the players follow each other. And like I said, Bobby Jaffrey, seeing him from 6 years old to winning this goal. When he scored that goal, his mother was flying in that night. He left right away to go see his mom at midnight. And it's hard for me to talk about it because it's been such a hard season for us this year during COVID. Well, even letting go of our head coach, things happen that hurt our team and COVID and just things that we made it work. And I'm very proud of the guys like Bobby, Ali, Elias, Murillo. I mean, I can name you the whole list. And, they're incredible. Like I get emotional, man, because my wife and I we put a whole life into this and they've seen it happen, and so here we are today, two normal people, seeing something we created, but it wasn't just us. It takes a lot of people to be part of it, and a lot has to do with our fathers too and our family that kind of guided us into when things were wrong and people wanted to take advantage of how we were because we were young or too nice or certain things. And we learned from mentors and Catch Intelligence, and all these people that supported me the right way. I was willing to listen and grow. And, I got goalies like Heiner, who that game is just blew my mind how incredible he played. And so I have players like him who he needs to be part of this family because he fits in right away. You can tell from that game that he belongs in that goal. The Kings and the guys respect him, and it's unreal. And my wife and I sit down and we look at each other sometimes, because we know what we've been through, and not a lot of people do. And we cry, and we hug each other. But then we look at our players, and they drive us even more. Man, that game after the game, I was crying because that's a dream of mine. That's why we started this, is to see those guys succeed. And in less than 2 years, we played a PSL, M3, M2, and M1, and won in all the divisions.
Yeah. Just
tell me in the history in indoor soccer, who, as a normal person from the ground up, who has done this? And it's not like I'm trying to brag or anything. It's just that everything is possible. And with the support of the right people, now we're starting to grow after this win. It helps. But with support with you guys, and just sometimes little words get you by when you think that you're not moving forward. And sometimes you guys message me and other people saying things that I didn't think I could move forward, think that it wasn't possible because of roadways or blocks, right? And just little things drove me by and pushed the things forward. So I'm grateful for everybody, even for the people that don't like me, that don't like us. They drove me to be better. They drove me to push me to show them wrong, and they're doing it. And so right now I just shut up and let the guys play, and they work. And so they're all wanting to come back. All the guys, I had 30 practice players the last 2 weeks for the Commons games, fighting for positions. I didn't give anybody rosters. I said, everybody, you're in your spot. This is where it goes to play M1 to see if you can get bought. And signed to go M1. And that was the roster we took. And they shocked the world, man. They shocked the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good story, to be honest.
Hey, I'm supposed before I forget, Ryan O'Hara's in the watching. He says hi. He just wants to let you know he's watching.
What's up, buddy? He's awesome, man. He supported us as M3, and he even went to our games in Springfield, and just things that you literally cannot dream of thing happening, right? And so I would say thank you guys. And what's the future for here? The future is great. You have owners that are willing to do what it takes.
So speaking about the future, sorry to jump in, but speaking about the future, I know you mentioned you're going to play M2. Are you going to be playing M3 as well?
I'm between M3 and Omaha Queens right now. So I'm starting. I want to start the women's side of indoor soccer and start focusing on that. I think the women's sport in the Midwest needs to be worked on. I think in arena soccer in general, it needs to be done. And I think we have the Omaha Queens already, the brand and everything. So I think if I can make something happen right now, I will probably focus on women. Just the fact that we have the arena so they can play essentially before the guys, and then make it happen a little bit easier for all of us. But that's my idea. If that doesn't work, I will do an M3 team for sure, because obviously I have the arena. So, I mean, if I could do all of them, if we had the money to do everything and everything makes sense, I would love it. But during COVID, right? And so if I have an M3 team and M2 team in Queens, you don't know what happens. So I also got to start thinking of business decisions, what could work well, M2, or, possibly M1 in the future, if the women's, makes sense, because I think the women's will be, I don't want to tell the guys anything like this, but I think the women's will probably be bigger than the guys. But, just to be honest, like, I think it's very much needed here. And the guys, the guys know this already, but they're watching right now and they're all texting me. So, very excited here for the future. And we're not stopping, man. We're not stopping. We have great family, great parents, and a great support. I mean, we started from nothing. So the grassroots is here. We are grassroots, guys.
Nice.
That's awesome. Now, so given what's going on in Mexico, how about your affiliations down there? So, like, you had a few affiliations with was it Legion and I can't remember.
I'm talking to Marlins. I actually talked to Sonora, Jose Trevino over there. I know Jose Trevino. I actually was Savage too as well. I actually had the opportunity to start making relationships there and in some clubs in Argentina due to Sebastian Contreras as well, because he played pro there, same with my father. And so we're looking to expand not just here, but to make this impact other places. And so it's not just this. And so that's what people don't understand is this is bigger than Natalie and I and anything. We're doing something different. And I hope people one day understand what we're doing. And obviously there's going to be people here, and we love it. Hey, man, this is how I grew up in this sport, in this game, soccer, the ball. It was my best friend. So I love the game, and I will do what it takes to make it work and to make sure people enjoy it and support it. Because, again, at the end of the day, arena soccer, it's an event. And so you got to play, you got to show, but then the fans got to enjoy it. So celebrations. You saw at the end of the game, when's the last time that the passion of the crowd and the players like that has felt? I mean, that's what arena soccer is, right? And so we're trying to bring that flavor back, and hopefully, M1 sees it and M2 sees it, and we get an opportunity in the future, to go M1 and prove this city, because we are belonging in M1 in this community, is to prove that we have what it takes to belong in all the divisions. And so we're doing it the right way. So
one of the things I was going to bring up and ask what you thought about the glass up versus the glass down, but I think especially at the end, but when Contreras scored his goal and he went and hugged his kid and pulled him halfway over the wall, it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Well, the difference between us and a lot of other teams is we're a lot of different cultures, and so we feed by the fans, right? And so family fans. As you score, you get to hug him, you get to touch him. The fans get the feeling that you're close to the players. Now people are wanting to be lower seating, they're wanting to watch, they can touch. And to me, that's a lot. Obviously, in Argentina, you have a fence everywhere, so you don't ever get to do that. So, I mean, you want to be real. We're not even allowed to have away fans in Argentina, so just so you know. So, but no, glass down for me is just because in outdoor, the difference between arena soccer and indoor is, outdoor soccer and arena soccer is in outdoor soccer, you're a lot farther away normally than the players.
Right.
And you're changing in arena soccer. What makes the difference is you're right there and get to essentially touch him or anything you want. Right? Not touch him, but you know what I'm saying. So that's my answer for you. And I think my players will probably tell you the same, is they enjoy getting up on those walls and chanting and making sure they knew that Omaha was here. So
yeah, I've been going back and forth on it and watching the whole COVID season except for Florida. The glass was up, and it made the game go faster. There were less out of bounds. There were more. There were faster transitions from defense to midfield to offense because of the walls, but just missed that whole interaction. It was just. It almost didn't matter if there were fans there versus not fans there in some cases.
Yeah.
And I think your team probably would have struggled with no fans in that arena against KC a lot more.
We're a very emotional team, so we thrive on energy. That's why you see me be so crazy, and I think that's why it works with me being this crazy blonde person right now. But it works. It works being because I see him go through this roller coaster, because that's arena soccer. Every quarter is different. But I also was part of the team, so I understand. I see them grow up, and I see what their personalities are like. So I kind of have an idea how to express my emotions in a way, how to get them pumped up or up. And I understand when they're mad and they don't mad. So I know if I should leave somebody alone, if I should tell somebody to be quiet or whatever. And so, yeah, it's been awesome.
So I wrote down. So I usually write down a number of things to talk about, and I wrote down the hair. I know there are a number of Kings fans in the chat, and they've been filling up the chat, and I appreciate that a lot. For those who may not know much about the team, talk about the hair and what happened, and what the bet or not bet, well, what the thing was, and how it came to be.
Well, I actually back into it. What are you laughing about?
Go ahead. Go. I'm sorry.
So, back in Copa America Centenario, when they came and played over Argentina, Otamendi had his hair kind of whitish, light blue. And I just loved it, man. And since then, I always wanted to try it. And for some odd reason, I was at practice and talking to players. And I just felt it. I just felt this. And I was like, guys, listen, if Argentina wins, I'm going to bleach my hair like Otamendi. And they're like, no, you won't. And I was like, yeah, I will. And then Sebastian's like, I will too. And I was like, all right. And then his son was like, I will too. And then all of a sudden, Argentina wins and beats Brazil, which, in our team, we got Brazilians and Argentinians. You know how it is.
Yep.
So, it was very, very interesting. Sebastian, number 10, came over to my house and actually did the hair for me. And I've never done it before. He actually did an okay job.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so. And then Rafa Nascimento was like, "You got to do your pink hair." He wanted me to bet me on Atletico Mineiro versus Boca Juniors, and I said, "Let's bet." And well, it ended up being the way I wanted to. There was a lot of miscommunication between the referees and between Brazilians. Anyways, they ended up winning in penalties, and so he keeps texting me about pink hair, and I said, "Dude, I'm not going to do that."
You should just do the tips, right? You just do the tips pink.
Just right there a little bit.
That'd be good. Yeah, that'd be good.
So I'm gonna hold up on those. I gotta get a haircut first because it just looks different now. So
a number of years ago, I got my daughter in trouble. I got her a Messi Argentina shirt, and she wore it to a Wave game. The Wave had 6 Brazilian players on it. So we're going up in autographs after the game, and she goes up to Marcio Leite, and he's like, don't come next to me with that shirt. She had no idea. He's like, don't come with that jersey on. So I made a big deal about buying Brazil jerseys for Christmas, and next game she wore that. I'm like, is this better? And she's like, okay, that's fine. And then she wore her Barca Messi jersey. And he's like, okay, that one I can accept. But don't wear that Argentina jersey for
Yeah,
her.
you'll get the hang of it sooner or later.
Yeah.
So if you do wear a Brazil shirt with me, just don't talk to me. I'll pretend like I don't know you, okay? I'll end the conversation. No, Murillo Cerulli, he comes into practice sometimes, and he always likes to joke with me and my dad, and he always comes in sometimes with a Brazilian jersey. And I'm like, hold on. I'm like, stop, go back. And I'm like, you can't even walk from the press. He just starts laughing, and you know how South Americans here we are with our jokes and our cups and all this stuff. So it's great, man. I love it. I love the chemistry. I love how cool it is with our players. It literally feels like a family. It took a while to get here, and it's gonna keep going, right? But players are gonna join in, and they're gonna come off because that's how things go. But it's just cool. It's cool. We hang out. Like they respect me as an owner. Like it was hard for all of us as a human being, as a friend. This is one thing I'm gonna tell a lot of people if they're trying to do this as well. So as a normal person, to have friends in a business is sometimes very hard to differentiate. Who's who at what time. And so like they now understand the difference between when I was playing. Now I'm an owner and I'm a coach, and we respect each other very, very well. And dude, it's incredible. Like I'm speechless still, and I just want the best for these guys. And if they go and win, that's the best thing. That's the best thing for them. I don't want them to go anywhere, obviously, duh. Like I want them to stay here forever. But if they go somewhere, that's my dream, and that's Natalie's dream. So hey, we'll make it happen for them. So
now, obviously, the values at your club are family, community, and obviously putting your best foot forward. But now, how do you integrate? Let's say you get a new player. How do you integrate them into that system, or how do you have them buy into that system?
Well, we first meet, and then I introduce them to the team. A lot of the times, we got to make sure they understand our personalities and what we're asking for, right? So if they come in, what they're trying to do, what's their goal, and make sure they understand we're all a family, right? And so we started from somewhere, so they're going to test them as well as personalities to make sure they're here for the right reason. And so to me, it's making sure they understand they're here to give me 100%, to respect each other. And then at the end of the day, I'm pretty easygoing. Just respect me, I respect you. Once you get on the field, 100%, be professional, respect your logo. And at the end of the day, just do the best you can. Just don't be lazy. A lot of people, a lot of the generations don't understand. And it's from an amateur player to a pro player, it's a big difference. It's a big difference it's a mindset. And so that's what I tell people. If you want to join here, just make sure you have the right mindset. Make sure you are 100% and give everything you have, because we're here to give everything. Okay.
Awesome. Good answer.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying my hardest. Okay.
Oh, you're doing great. No, I'm trying to look through all my questions. I think I covered all the stuff I had. What do you got, Gio?
Well, I have a bunch, but you know me.
Oh, Gio.
No. I generally try to understand what a team's goals are. Right? I try to learn their values, see what their structure is like, and then see what their end goal is. Because a lot of the teams here, I shouldn't say a lot of the teams. Some of the teams here, it's hard to understand their identities. Right? It's hard to see where they are, and you could see that on the field. For example, I joke about Dallas because I truly love Dallas off the field, but then I love some of the players on the field. But on the field, last season they had no identity, right? The Kings, they had an identity where it's passion, it's fast paced, it's usually try to keep it together and a hit on the counter, right? Now, is this something that you've established, or go ahead?
It's just knowing the guys. I just know what they're good at and what they're not good at. Every team is different in their own way, and so the way that our team fits is countering, where we have really fast players. And at the end of the day, like I said, I've seen these guys grow. 3/4 of the team, I probably seen them grow in the last 10 years, and they see me grow as well. And so I just know that arena soccer is a very passionate game, and so I also want to make it entertaining for a lot of the fans to make sure that they get a fast-paced kind of countering game, because they do that and they celebrate. They're passionate. They do all these things for the camera and the fans, and you know that's kind of the identity. But also when it comes to our identity, is a lot of the players that I want to do here have a lot of or never had the experience to be where they're at. And so I want to teach them how to be a professional on the field, but also how to be a professional off the field. There's a lot of things that happen in life that maybe they don't have a mentor or that they never been through. And so my job is to also make him man and make him understand what life is really like as a normal human being, being through a lot of the obstacles. I want to teach him the right path, not just from a professional standpoint of the soccer field. Is how can I make him better as a person, to be better with their family or their spouse or their kids. And so that's my idea as well. I'll have connections with jobs and businesses that I can help out with and things like that that I'm able to do. So for me, it's not just on the field. It's also off the field to make sure that things go right and make sure they're mentally moving forward correctly, because this year has been really tough during COVID-19, and there's a lot of things going around the world right now with politics and stuff. That's one thing I try not to bring in on my team, is make sure we're all from so many different backgrounds that we'll let that outside, and when we get on the field, we're the family and we don't let it affect us, right? And so make sure that my job is to make sure they're mentally prepared to whatever the scenario is, because yeah, you can be great on the field, but then you have something wrong off the field, and it's still, to me, we're a family. And so our identity is to make sure they become men, right? And they understand what life is really like, or they have a pathway into any communication, because life is not easy, and not just as a soccer player, but mentally it affects you in different ways. And so that's who we are. I say Omaha Kings. We want the right idea. We want to grow arena soccer, outdoor soccer, and we want to grow these kids, 17-year-olds or 35-year-olds, into the right person. Like we have Eduardo Suarez and you know, Daniel Zuckweiler, you know, and you know, it's amazing to see a 35 and a 36-year-old give the efforts they do, and Zuck with his family there, you know, hugging each other. They're changing my life, and I'm changing their life, and so that's what it's all about. That's the Omaha Kings for you.
That's cool. Well, I'm definitely
that's a great way to end that, right?
So yeah, I'm definitely. I mean, it started with the jersey, and because when
I'm gonna block you for a second, Adam. You look great.
Come on, I just put that on a platter for you, and that's how you treat me. You know what?
I'm just joking, man. I love it.
I can just like, whoop, sorry.
Look at this guy.
But no, as soon as I have, 7 or 8, maybe 9 wave jerseys. I'm probably more than that, wave jerseys. And I started a number of years ago. I ran into the former owner of Solista Sonora down in a league meeting down in St. Louis. And we went down there. There was an exhibition game. And I said, how do I get one of your jerseys? They look really cool. And that went like a 1.5 year process of him trying to get me a jersey. And then I was just like, you know what? I can just collect some. So I liked the San Diego jersey. I liked the Tacoma Stars jersey. And then, I won a bet against another Blast fan, and he sent me a jersey. And it's just kind of expanded. As soon as I saw those, when you posted the first story of what they were going to be, even before they were released, I'm like, I need that. I have to have one of those. I have to have that. So
I was pretty geeked out. I'm not going to lie to you, especially when I saw it. My wife and I are like, that's the one, and I was like, that I just looked so different, it was perfect. It just stood out, and it made the Kings, made the Kings what they are. You know what I mean? It was perfect.
And I don't know if you've gone back and watched the replay of the game yet, the broadcast on that blue turf. It makes.
Did I go back and watch the game? Come on now. That's like, I literally got back from Kansas City on Sunday, and I see on the way from Kansas City, I say, hey babe, can you please drive? Like, I drove on the way there. Can you drive so I can watch the game? I watched the whole entire game, and I'm gonna rewatch it like 3 or 4 more times. Don't you worry. They
look really good on that blue turf. I'm a big fan of that turf. once because we went down to the All-Star game in December, so once I got to stand on it, I was like, oh, this is even cooler than it looks like.
I didn't meet you. I was there at the.
You met Matt at the semifinals, but I was there at the All-Star game last year.
Isn't that crazy to see? We went there with like 10 of our players to watch the semifinals, Kansas City versus Ontario.
Yeah.
In San Diego as well. And then literally 3 months later, we're back there playing Kansas City Comets with our players in their field. It's just life is so unreal, you guys. Like in one day things can change for better. But just I tell people don't quit what you're doing, because sometimes it seems a lot harder than it is, and you might be just right there to make it. I'm not saying I made it, and I have so much work to do, and we have so much work to do as an organization, but we're striving for big things in Omaha, and our players doing it. So,
I will say this: that game was difficult for me to watch, man.
Why?
Because I like you guys, and I like the Comets.
Right.
So it's like, what do I cheer for?
What do you like about the Kings, and what do you like about the Comets?
So, if we talk about, off the field stuff, it's just my relationships with certain people, right? But if we talk about on the field, it's the styles of play. So like I mentioned, the Kings, you guys are really like, you're tight in the defense and you're really quick counterattack, right? As where the Comets are very heavy on the usual lineups are very heavy with the forwards, right? They're heavy on the attack, but their defense is shaky.
Yeah.
Right. So to me, it's like on paper, it's like, oh, this is going to be a great matchup. But then you throw in the personal relationships, and then it's just like, oh man, what do I do here?
You know what to do.
Right. I don't think there's. It was
are
the same.
you asking me, or you want me to tell you what?
No. I'm just saying, like that's my thought, right? It's like, maybe I'll just enjoy the game and not say anything
later, okay?
I mean, as a Wave fan, and especially for you as a Blast fan, it's so hard. It's so hard to cheer for the I mean, it was so easy to hate the Comets for so long.
Oh yeah.
But then the whole All-Star game experience completely changed me, and my view of them. I don't know what's going to happen when the Wave plays them again. I'm sure that'll change. But I went into the game going, you know what? This is I'm going to enjoy the broadcast. I'm going to enjoy the experience. I'm going to enjoy watching both teams play well. I had no idea what to expect from Omaha, because I watched you guys a number, 3 or 4 times during the M3 and a couple of M2 seasons, or games, but I didn't know what to expect. Here it is in the middle of summer. Who knows where the players are, how much practice you've done, how much practice KC's done. It could be, like a 12-10 blowout both ways, completely wide open, or it could be like it was, or a more defensive game. But I would say starting probably later into the second quarter, we started rooting more for you guys just because of the whole underdog thing. And it's like, you know what, this would be really cool for this team. And then I was kind of like, you know what, it would be cool just to have it go to maybe a shootout so that both teams kind of win.
And man was like, no, what are you doing?
A heart attack.
Right.
Ali said, no, man, he worked his ass off that game. He normally scores a lot of goals, but he just did. That was his job. It was a lot of defensive game. But after the game, he looked at me. He's like, Manny, are you there? Alan was like, I was so tired emotionally and mentally. You know what I mean? Just trying to. That I was like fainted, just so emotional. Man, it was just. Yeah, the thing about it is, when I told the guys this, they had a month off and a month and a half, so we started back practicing. We were still getting in rhythm, and I told the guys there's no pressure on the Kings. Like there's no pressure on whatsoever. I mean, and also we lost to Amarillo at the end of the season, away 9-7. We felt that feeling, and I said, what better way to get back by beating the Comets in their own stadium, right? And then just end up in a good way. You have your fans, your family, over 100 freaking fans there, man. It was unbelievable. Our fans were loud, and so they listened and they enjoyed it. They were smiling. It was incredible. They looked like a M1 team at that point. just relaxed and comfortable, especially with an amazing goalie as well. So I mean,
Yeah,
that helped a lot.
definitely agree. Well, we're excited to see you in this coming season, to see what the Kings do, what you guys have in store for the fans. If you have any last words to say to your fans or to your team, or just if you want to tell people where to find you guys, here's the floor.
I do. I want to say thank you to all the amazing fans that follow us the whole season through COVID. So many games, so many away games, and there were so many games of our game that made us push forward that game. And to our team, I'm so proud of you guys. This comes from the heart, right? And you guys make people believe. You believe in each other, and you pick each other up when their time was needed. And so I love you guys, and I will do what it takes for you guys to succeed. And I appreciate you guys for doing everything you guys do for us as well. And to Omaha, started with a little dream. Here we are today. The future's bright. Get behind us. We're here to do the right thing. And you got a crazy owner that loves the soccer game, that loves this community, and he's bilingual. And so thank you to everybody. Thank you to you guys. Thank you to the league. Thank you to Kansas City Comets as well, because they were an amazing host. The took care was great. But guys, this is not the last game we make history on. Just like we're always the underdog. Look forward to seeing the future, and look forward for the announcements. And hopefully, Adam, Matt, when he joins in the future, Gio, you come to see us in our arena next game. And thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to the Kings. Thank you to everybody. And you guys have a good night. And whatever you need, you know where to find me. Gio, next time you talk to me, wear the jersey, please. Okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
I don't want you wearing a Blast jersey on the show anymore either. Just so
Hey. All right, come on. Let's slow down.
No, it was a pleasure, guys. You guys made me laugh. You guys made me enjoy this. It was a great interview. So
yeah, this is fun. We'll do this again. We'll do this again in the middle of the season sometime.
Yeah. Just let me know, and then I'll follow you guys always. And thank you for everything. And all the players love you guys. They follow you guys. So keep doing what you're doing. You guys are doing great things.
Cool. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Adam, I appreciate you for everything. Seriously, thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you later. All right, how do we do this here? Hey, we kept Matt in the spot.
So
all right.
That was wholesome. Really awesome interview. Thank you,
great.
Omaha Kings, Emmanuel. Great job. We're looking forward to your success. Anything, Adam?
Brian says, thanks for the great questions, Matt. he didn't have many, but the ones he had were really, really important.
They were just, phenomenal.
Look at the golf clap.
It's really low.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear that one.
You couldn't? Well, that's better. It's better than,
Yeah, you gave me that like 3 times when I told you guys I was going to take a small break.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk about that. We'll have the roast of Geo show one of these days, and you guys show up in the chat and let everyone know.
We do that all the time.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
I literally got a message from Dave saying, what he said on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's you? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, everyone, thanks for staying. We do not know when the next show will be. We do not want to know what the next topic will be, but it will be at some point in the future. We're definitely taking off next week for Labor Day
yes, sir.
in the States, and even though we probably won't be doing anything that night exciting, but we'll see what happens. We'll looking forward to some announcements from the league. Looking forward to getting interviews of both Shep and Keith Tozer figured out here in the next in the month of September sometime. Till then, take it easy, everybody.
Good night, everyone.